resources, but in it, depends on how they are utilized to achieve organizational goals. Human resources are, in fact, the most valuable and complex resources than any other resources. The role of human resources is absolutely critical in attaining organizational effectiveness. So basically, performance management over here, we are studying. One second. We are studying about the human performance and the structural and human performance that an individual can give. And the performance is the behavior of the individuals. Definitely, we must agree to it because every individual, from the cultural or from the interest, or, be it a student, for instance, a student, if I have to know that a student is a good student in perspective of studies, I have to definitely look at his score. So that is how I would be understanding that how much interest that he has about the subject. So performance management is strategic approach of improving employees' performance in one of the most important disciplines of management. It helps. It also helps the organization to, fulfill its mission and vision. Let us know the importance of performance management. The importance of performance management is to facilitate evaluation, that is, evaluate the employee's performance and expect the performance and the actual performances so that the employee can improve their performance. Then ensure rewards and recognition wherever an individual is benefiting in terms of rewards or recognition. What does he like more? So that is very important to understand. And then boost employee engagement and productivity. So rather than understanding that the employees will be coming to the organization and not being productive or not have any organizational activity, and they would never be motivated to improve their performances. So performance management definitely enables employees to engage themselves in the organizational activities, contributing to productivity. So employee link mission and goals. See, when you want to understand that that a person has to work and his performance is aligning with the organizational performance, that is very important to understand. Enable organizational change as well. These performances should definitely adopt the improvement of organizational culture. Let us understand how did performance management evolve. It is definitely takes us back to 1920s China. Torsel in 2019 his research paper on personality-based performance appraisal, gaining and adopting during 1950s. Employees would be rated on traits such as job knowledge, sincerity, and loyalty. However, it was soon realized that you know, that measuring the performance of workers based on inherited had nothing to do with their productivity. So this was in the workplace. So as a result, the companies had to find the better ways in implementing, the performances better. So, annual performances, appraisals began in the 1960s. So, that is again very surprising for us to know that back in the 1960s itself, they've understood the meaning of appraisals, and by 1970s, they had the rating scales. That is, by 18 and 90s, they had 360 degrees appraisal, and this kind of shift of motivating the human behavior in the early 2000, where most of the organization had to give the feedback on how holistic approaches that they had and maintaining a very high performances. So this is how performance management evolved. Let us understand the elements of performance management. Reward and compensation, that every employee deserves to be appreciated and compensated for the time they have invested in their companies, in serving the companies. So, rewards and benefits motivate employees to perform because it is not in vain. Managers' reviews they allow employees to review their managers who can quickly assess the employees' level, leadership style, and influence of the managers. Development and improvement. Succession planning. Some of the employees that leave the workplace, some of them hold an unbeaten record of perfect performance. So it is wise to have succession planning to transfer skills from one employee to the other to ensure gaps which are covered during the intern. So performance monitoring. It is critical to track the performance of the employees because it is likely the only way of finding out where improvements are necessary. Further, employees may be encouraged to track their performance, and this will help them improve because they will be too reluctant. Goal setting is any organization had a purpose and target to meet. Most times, employees understand what is expected of them, as most of them are professionals who have learned their skills specifically for their job positions. So without an understanding of what the CEO or senior manager of a company is aiming at, all the skills and knowledge of the employees could potentially be useless. So the employees usually set the goals and the managers implement to ensure that everyone keeps the record at their word. Ongoing feedback, continuous feedback also makes it easy to track the employees and know if there is any development needs necessary to enhance their performances. Outcome management, it is not always guaranteed that the best team of employees will get the job done. The outcome can go both ways, and the managers must be prepared to handle them both. Paying employees according to their performance is one of the right ways of managing outcomes. That is because they will enhance employee performance, knowing that they can earn much more when they work harder. Outcome management, and the manager must be prepared to handle the various outcomes to enhance his performances. So this was about performance management. Coming to the benefits of performance management, first is create transparency. uh, in the olden days, Management used to exploit employees' practices such as not giving fair wages and salaries were given in vogue. But in the present days, every organization applies performance management, which follows 360 degrees performance appraisal degree where an employee is appraised by superior subordinate peers and himself. So therefore, there is no scope for bias exploitation. Motivate employees. Performance management provides appraisal of employees, management appraises employees and rewards them accordingly. So employees who gets promotion gets motivated and performs better. So these employees also get rewards recognition from organizations. This creates high degree of motivation in employees and further encourages them to be loyal and committed to the organization. Then it creates healthy work environment. Performance evaluation gives report of employees' performance. This creates an understanding of the areas of improvement. It also helps to know the performance of others. Facilitate career promotion. So performance management is the fastest and accurate means of career promotion. It is most beneficial for employees as it leads to career advancement. It helps employees in career planning. As employees become aware of their performance, they look after career opportunities. Employees also who aim at career advancement work more actively, investing their skills and competencies, which is also benefit to organization. Optimize productivity. Performance evaluation is a technique to analyze the mismatch between actual performances from that of desired performances. If the management finds any deviation to attain the set targets, it also takes appropriate steps to correct the gap. As performance management is a continuous process, organization benefits from continuous, what do you say, monitoring and tries to maximum extent to attain opportunity productivity. Promote individual and organizational development. Performance management is the right way to give feedback to employees regarding their performance, appraisal, compensation, promotion. So, this is to improve and correct their behavior towards their duties and responsibilities. Let us understand the drivers of high performances. First is communication. Like we know, communication is the most active form of and having an objective to be clear and transparent flow of information to have that and to have proper frame and systematic free feedback system as well. Leadership. Culture and values. Culture of an organization plays a significant role in managing performance of employees. Most of organizations do not do what they have to do. There exists a gap between the values they frame in the business and the portfolio and the values they implement in attaining. Employee retention. These days, employee retention has become burning issue for organizations. The role of human resource manager does not end with selecting right candidates, but they should also plan strategically in retaining employees. Employees have to be paid, prepared, and everything. Performance management in the workplace. So you all can do this cases sometime. Next, we would start with performance management process. Performance management process, the meaning and the characteristics we will do. So, performance management process is a cyclical process that starts with development, planning, and ends with feedback and coaching. It is collaborative, communication-based process where employees and management work together to plan, monitor, and review the employee objectives, long-term goals, job trajectory, and comprehensive contribution to the company. This process is continual with regular sessions where both management and employees have the opportunity to give and receive feedback. There are a number of steps involved in the achievement of performance results in organization. The characteristics of performance management process. Performance planning, execution is a process of developing major objectives and goals of performance in an organization. Each and every employee needs to identify various performance goals with the help of superiors. Performance goals result with identification of key result areas. Key performance indicators emerge from such exercise. In the process of performance planning, a member of areas are discussed and mutually agreed. So this was first the performance planning, and then we need to execute. That is, we need to have an objective and then state that objective in performance planning stage. And it may, and at this stage, subordinates become very confused. So new objectives and goals may be a thought of this process. Superiors play a vital role of consolidating the revised objectives and goals. Performance assessment. Performance plan is executed within the contextual framework of organization. Resources, structure, and human environment plays a significant role in the achievement of planned results. At regular interval, both superior, supervisor, and subordinate evaluate results independently. So manager completes the assessment in an independent manner. Similarly, subordinate also completes the self-assessment evaluation. Usually performance review is very important because it leads us to the developmental plans. It speaks about the achievement process and overall performance. Performance development, performance management process requires that development to be achieved in a cordial atmosphere. क्या हुआ तुम उठे हुए हैं? नहीं, मैं क्या- एक सेकंड। ओके। And then it is a performance audit. Performance audit comprises of reviewing the methods of performance, linking compensation, reviewing training and development plans, and finally suggesting various improvements required for the execution of new plans. So, for example, consider performance management process at FISR. The guidance given on performance is having a dialogue and documents. This is what it is. Activities of performance management. Let us understand the activities. AI performance reviews. First of all, management has to understand the current performance achievement by the employees. Certain questions relevant in this regard are: what have been done, how it has been done, what are the challenges, why performance could not be achieved, who are responsible, where the responsibility lies, and finally, when the review took place, as performance management focuses on results, it is confined to key result areas. Performance counseling. The basic aim of performance management is not to exercise corrective actions, but help subordinates improve performance. Therefore, manager takes the role of counselor. Various techniques are used to identify aspects such as challenges, strength, weaknesses, aim improvements, and directions required. In all these, managers counsel subordinate using a discussion approach rather than providing directions to be adhered. Potential review. Potential review is done by understand knowledge, skills, experience, attitudes, motivation, attributes needed to develop required potentials in employees. For example, an engineer may have a potential of dealing with financial aspects. So, by education, it is technical, but by looking at potential, his or her services can be better utilized in finance function. Career counseling. Once potential review is done, employees are counseled to identify their best fit into opportunities provided in organization. Performance improvement and career development program. At the end of career counseling, manager identifies deficiencies and training goals. This helps in ensuring employees about future performance improvements and important activity to design the appropriate career development program for different employees. So the ultimate objective is to make organizations a lovable place to work and commit. So, reward and review. So, the increase in performance is to be rewarded for achieving new performance equity. So, let us understand the principles of effective performance management. Principles of goals, that is to increase the importance of, the organizational goals and get that into the individual and team and departmental goals. So, principle of accuracy means to be appropriate with the performance data of both qualitative and behavioral data. Behavioral data is difficult to make accurate. For example, in the process of measuring performance of telecaller, the number of calls during and conversation of calls into an opportunity can be quantitatively measured. So, however, the way telesales behaved, language used, courtesy and etiquette are behavioral data which cannot be accurately measured. However, today some technological tools are available even to capture behavioral data also. So some traits like courage, expression, loyalty, appealing, initiative. Yeah. Principles of continuity. According to this principle, performance should be a continuous process. Only annual reviews become postmortem analysis. Principles of openness. Under such leader, subordinates have feelings of freedom to discuss various issues relating to their performance. In presence of a leader who uses his power to decide subordinate performances. So all these things, the principle of power and everything is important. So in tomorrow's class, we will be learning about the elements. All right. Thank you and see you in the next class.